You have a superpower. Seriously. It shapes your career, your relationships, your entire life. But for most of us, it's just lying there, dormant, totally unused. Well, today we're going to change that. We're going to unlock it. The power of observation.
Okay, so let's test this hidden power right now with a quick challenge. Take a look at the riddle on the screen. Read it carefully. All the details you think you need are right there. Go on, I'll give you a second to work it out.
So, how'd you do? If you found yourself crunching numbers, adding up people and parachutes, you just fell into a classic trap. You were seeing the words, sure, but you weren't truly observing the meaning. You completely missed the very first, most important piece of information because your brain was already filtering.
So why does that happen? Why do we miss things that are right in front of us? Let's get into the science of it all. See, our brains are these incredible supercomputers, but here's the catch. They're actually designed to miss most of what's happening around us.
Every single second, your senses, your eyes, your ears, everything are getting absolutely bombarded with this many pieces of information. That's 11 million bits of data. Every second.
And this is how many of those 11 million pieces your brain can consciously pay attention to in that same second. 40. Not 40,000, just 40. Think about that. Your brain isn't just filtering reality. It's aggressively deleting almost all of it just so you can function. All right, let's put that filter to the test again. This one seems really simple. I'm about to show you a short video. Your only job, your only mission, is to count how many times the girls wearing green jump the rope. Focus only on them. Try to ignore everything else. You ready?
The correct answer is 38. So if you got that, nice job, your focus was on point. But let me ask you a slightly different question. Did you happen to see the giant chicken walk through the middle of the scene? If you're thinking, what chicken? Well, you've just witnessed your brain's powerful filtering system in real time.
This is something called selective attention. It's basically the gatekeeper of your mind. Now, it's an absolutely crucial feature that lets you, focus on a task. But as we just saw, it can also be a bit of a bug that makes you completely blind to the obvious.
So how does your brain decide what to focus on and what to just ignore? Well, think of your mind as an attic. You furnish it with what's important to you. A police officer, for example, furnishes their attic with clues, so they notice that one car that just doesn't look right. A farmer furnishes theirs with weather patterns, so they feel that tiny shift in the wind. What you've stored in your attic dictates what your selective attention lets you see in the world.
But you know what? There's another force, one that's even more powerful than your brain's automatic filter, that's constantly hijacking our attention. And it's not the noise outside, it's the noise inside our own heads.
We can call this the thought cloud. You know what I'm talking about? It's that inner voice that's just constantly running, planning dinner, replaying a conversation you had yesterday, worrying about a deadline. This internal monologue is probably the single biggest blocker to becoming a better observer.
Let's test the power of this thought cloud right now. In a moment, you're going to see a series of numbers shown on hands. Your only job is to count them. That's it. At the same time, I'll be talking. Do your best to completely ignore my voice and focus only on counting. Ready?
So, how many did you get? The correct number was 5. But while your thought cloud was so busy with that visual task, did you actually register what I was saying? I told you that waking up at 10 a.m. was better for you than 5 a.m. Your ears heard the words, but your brain was too busy counting to even process the absurd meaning.
This is just a brilliant illustration of the power of that internal chatter. It's what's known as cognitive load. When your mind is busy thinking and doing, it literally stops observing. Your own thoughts become this powerful distraction that can prevent you from registering what's happening right in front of you.
Okay, so we know our brains have these built-in filters, and we know they're plagued by this thought cloud. We've diagnosed the problem. So now, let's get practical. Let's equip you with 3 powerful, simple tools to start sharpening your observation skills right now.
Our first tool is the 5-4-3-2-1 method. This is a grounding technique, and its whole job is to pull you out of your head and into the present moment. Let's actually do it right now. Wherever you are, name 5 things you can see. Now, 4 things you can physically feel, maybe your feet on the floor or the chair you're sitting on. Okay, 3 things you can hear. 2 things you can smell. And finally, 1 thing you can taste. See? That simple act forces your brain to focus on real-time sensory data instead of its own chatter. It's like an instant mute button for your thought cloud.
Okay, next up, a really cool technique called the memory palace. One of the big problems with observation isn't noticing things, it's remembering them. You noticed a detail, but poof, it vanishes. This ancient technique, used by everyone from Roman orators to Sherlock Holmes, helps you store what you see by linking it all together in a bizarre story inside a place you know really well.
So why on earth does this work? It's because your brain is wired for stories and for weird things, not for boring lists. I mean, imagine trying to remember a grocery list. Now imagine walking into your own kitchen and seeing this story unfold. You would never ever forget those items because the story is connected, it's visual, and it's strange.
And for our last tool, here is a direct weapon against the thought cloud itself: box breathing. Anytime you feel your mind racing or you're just stuck overthinking, just do this. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold for 4. It's like a physiological reset button. It calms your nervous system right down and gives you the mental space you need to actually observe.
So, now we have these tools. But this is about so much more than just winning a memory game or spotting a chicken in a video. Mastering the skill of observation fundamentally changes how you engage with your work, with other people, and ultimately with yourself. And that brings us to the final level.
This leads to the most profound part of this whole skill. The philosopher Jiddu Krishnamurti famously said, "Observe the observer." See, once you learn to see the world around you more clearly, the real challenge, the ultimate step, is to turn that power inward. What happens when you start to observe the part of you that's doing all the watching? That's where the real superpower is found.